Freaks and geeks, drinkers, thinkers, ramblers and gamblers, stoners and pet owners.
That's me.
Gather around. This is the Outsiders Social Club, where us misfits, miscreants, outcasts get together and ramble, palaver, prattle, and get royally intoxicated while we do so. So without further ado, let's proceed.
One for the party, baby. Puff on the road, drumming, knock back a drink. There's nobody home.
Welcome back to the Outsiders Social Club. I'm your master of ceremonies, Drinks with Ron, and the slurring has begun. Usual rules apply for listeners and crew. You drink if you hear a dog or a cat or a bong. We're resetting the over-unders, so 1.5 dogs applies once again. Speaking of over-unders, Troy, hit us with the over-under for part 2 of tonight.
Thanks, Ron. We're going to stick with a low number. We're going to stick with the 2.5 drinks for this segment to keep us focused on the important stuff, the movies of 1998.
First dog. We got a dog. But we're going to keep this quick, get back into the movie. So let's quick go around the room. Attach a voice to a name. You just heard Troy. Justin, say hey to the dozens.
What's going on, Barky Dog over there?
Thank you, Ted Jansen. First drink of part 2. Hashi, say hey to our dozens and dozens of listeners.
What's up?
And Yikes Mountain, do the same.
Hello.
And with that, we go back to Joe Vegas, and we're getting knee-deep into the movies of the summer of 1998. So, lead the way.
Yes, indeed. Moving on. Great analysis of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Ron.
Love that movie.
Appreciate that. We are moving on to Friday, May 29th. We were supposed to review Hope Floats. Coley was supposed to do that. However, she's not with us tonight. Hopefully, she is not dead. Spoiler alert. No, seriously, hopefully she's not.
I think that movie actually killed her.
Well, I mean, inexplicably, it made $81 million at the box office, but we're skipping it tonight, which brings us to Almost Heroes and one of the last appearances of our hero, Chris Farley. Ash, the floor is yours.
Yes, this is the last movie that Chris Farley was a leading role in. And you couldn't really maybe even say that he's a leading role. So I watched this movie, and I noticed a actor again, Kevin Dunn. He's in 3 of my movies.
Huh.
He is the general in Godzilla. He is the main bad guy in Almost Heroes, and he's the father of the main character in Small Soldiers. But he was also in 4 movies that summer, so he had a hell of a moment. But that was my first observation.
Moment. Yeah,
98 moment.
Let's give it to him. That's
Kevin Dunn. Yeah. Wow. My notes are Revolutionary Chandler. Blasphemous that a Chris Farley movie is packed with so many bad jokes. It is literally just a mishmash of jokes from other movies. There's a moment where it's like they did that in Billy Madison. There's a moment where it's like they did that in Black Sheep. Moment where they did that in Tommy Boy. It's just literally an amalgamation of like all of his like jokes that landed well and then didn't. They just did them poorly. Problematic? Question mark? Yes is the answer. I would say that it was supposed to be it was assigned to me as the quote unquote bad movie, but it's not as bad as Godzilla. Holy shit, the green screen is entirely unnecessary. And it's just overarching feeling is just, it was disappointing to see Chris Farley's talent squandered so heavily. Matthew Perry is good in the whole 9 yards, not good in this, not good in Friends. Maybe good in Friends, not really.
I don't know.
He's kind of just the same note. It didn't work in this role. Lisa B as the, Native American woman, problematic. A lot of the things. So, yeah, that's my take.
So for the record, they forced 1/3 of the Friends cast on us this summer just because of how popular Friends was. David Schwimmer was in 6 Days, 7 Nights, and he played Ross. And now you're saying Matthew Perry played Chandler in a movie as well.
Right.
So go white people. You're going to pay to see your Friends heroes on screen.
Well, yeah. It translates to white dollars. That's how that works.
We're moving on to the main event. Friday, June 5th, 1998, The Truman Show, one of the best reviewed movies of the year and of Jim Carrey's career. Troy has taken this movie on, and he is going to give us one hell of a review.
Wow. Thanks, Joe. The Truman Show, friends, is an allegory that doesn't fit in today's world. Imagine, if you will, being filmed every waking moment and the world being all about you. God, what a terrible place that would be. I think I'll ride a boat to the end of the world and see what happens. The Truman Show is a cute movie about a young guy who's an orphan who gets adopted by a movie studio. They build a gigantic stage around him, and it's lovely. Unfortunately, he's not in on the joke. And some of the supporting actors are, and they're suddenly swept away. Long story short, Truman finds out about it through various fun means. He has a come to Jesus moment with God, aka the executive producer of the show, and then gets in a boat a la Forrest Gump and drives to the end of the world. So he then hits the end of the world, unzips the world, walks out, and meets the love of his life.
Is anybody timing
next?
Yeah. Hashtag the end.
Well done.
What did you say, Yikes?
I asked if anyone was timing that.
No.
I could throw a timer on Troy from here on out. We can see if we can keep him down there.
I thought that was a very good analysis of it.
I agree, yes.
I just want it to be an equal field for everyone, you know?
Well, Troy doesn't like movies, so he doesn't really care. And we made
Spoiler alert, he didn't watch
him watch 3 movies. And
did we, though?
So I will say this. One of the best reviewed movies of the year, people say Jim Carrey got robbed for Best Actor. It was a big career change for him. I actually watched it the other day. I don't think it was that big a deal. I thought it was just fine. Nothing better than that. So
yeah,
I'm okay with, I thought it was fine. Anyone have any takes on this movie or the premise? Ahead of its time, right? Where we're glued to TVs of, whatever's on.
It was kind of the precursor to the entire reality show format, which showed up in the next 18 months after that. You have Big Brother rolling out. You have all this reality shit. It is right on the heels of the Truman Show.
Spoiler alert. My next ones will be shorter.
Love it. So we're on to Friday, June 12th, 1998. So if you were 18 years old at this time, like I was, you'd be feeling good. Your summer's still just beginning. You still got a couple months left. And you know what you have on the docket? A movie called Dirty Work, starring Norm Macdonald. Ron, take it.
Well, I had to rewatch this. First time I've seen it in years. Norm Macdonald stars with Artie Lang. It's like your typical, it's a lowbrow buddy comedy directed by Bob Saget. It doesn't try to be anything that it's not. Norm's usual deadpan delivery that he has, he gets about a 20% more of a waka waka to it. I don't know how else to describe it, but he's usually so dry. In this, he has to pitch it up for a note to self. Anyway, there's lots of bits and callbacks, specifically that note to self thing with the handheld recorder. I think it's great. And he keeps getting thrown out of windows and doors. Every time he gets pitched out of a place, Artie Lang just comes walking out. They never throw him out. It's a great fucking joke. There's cameos abound in this. We get Adam Sandler. We get fucking Don Rickles. We get 2 Farleys in this movie.
Yes,
Farley's brother's in there. Shooter McGavin, top tier 90s heel. Can we all agree on that? Just fucking great.
Yeah. Maybe the best.
Yeah, you want this asshole to go down. And 90s chicks with short bleached hair? Yes, please. We've got some more of that. The note to self tape recorder callback bit obviously pays off in the end. It's a weak story. It's super crude, but it's still fun. I give it a 6 out of 10. And my 3 takeaways are...
How dare you, sir?
Norm was underrated. Even without his usual deadpan, he's still hilarious. Norm, Saget, and Farley. Artie Lang, how did he fucking outlive all of them?
That's what I was going to ask you. Seriously.
What the fuck? Artie Lang's the one still standing out of this movie? And speaking of Farley, that reminds me of how effortlessly funny this fucking guy was. The end of the movie, they do outtakes, and they end on him. And just his fucking laugh alone makes me so goddamn happy. That guy was just amazing.
I think he was actually drunk and high at the end. I think this was right before he died.
This is the last movie he was ever in. Like the
but
last
I think it was shortly before he died also. I think he was just having fun with his friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Saigon whore bit off my nose. Like, it's over the top, but somehow Farley still makes it enjoyable. It's just a testament to everybody in that movie and how effortlessly funny every fucking one of them is. It's a shit movie. I've
never been more offended by a 6 out of 10 in my life. Blah, blah, blah.
It's not good. It's
so good. It's fucking perfect. It's amazing. What are you talking about?
God, the story is fucking garbage. This guy fucking...
What's it? There's a dead hooker in the trunk there.
Yeah. He gets her fired. He gets her grandma evicted. And she's still like, oh, what now? Like, the what? You didn't like Norm in the first place. Look at that.
She had the butch haircut, like you said, the butch blonde haircut.
Oh, man. The 90s bleach hair.
What a run, man.
What a fucking moment, man. Oh, yes, please. I'll take
Julie
that.
Bowen had it and Happy Gilmore. What a run.
Oh, it's all over the place.
All right. Who has anything on Dirty Work? Because, I mean, it should be a 9 or a 10 out of 10. So I will fight Ron on that one. Otherwise,
it's fun.
It's an amazing movie. I've said this to you guys before. I'll say it again. It's the only movie I've gone home, called my best friend and say, we're going to the movies, and gone to again in the same night.
It's fun. It's entertaining. It doesn't try to be something it's not. It's perfectly cast. It's not good. I will watch it again. It's rewatchable.
It's hilarious. Like, what more do you need?
Hilarious might be a stretch. It's serviceably funny.
All right.
Note to self.
If nobody has anything else, we're moving on to the following week, Friday, June 19th, the first week that Titanic was out of the top 10.
Oh, shit.
We are going to move to first, The X-Files. Yikes.
Oh, shit. All right. So the deal with The X-Files is that this is 1998, so it just came off. Like, my whole thing was watching the TV show, right? So this is a major TV show gone movie. I turned this on, forgetting everything that I went through all those years of watching the show. This kind of stands alone, oddly. Like, this is a good movie. Like, it opens up with I mean, a caveman kills an alien. Like, that's the opening. Like you're like, where can I pick up on this show?
Okay,
like, there we go.
I need to rewatch this badly.
Yeah, they go way back into that. You realize also that they reintroduce all the characters from the show in like kind of like this fun and quirky way. It's weird. It almost feels like they're reintroducing the X-Files to the people. Even though it's already been out there.
You had to account for new people that hadn't seen it showing up, though.
Also hasn't gone into like reruns yet, right? So I think there's a moment where I could read this whole thing from Mulder that sums up the entire X-Files, where he's drunk, taking shots. It might take a long time, but the opening like line is, "I'm the key figure in an ongoing government charade. The plot to conceal truth, the existence of extraterrestrials." And so I understand like where we're at in 1998.
Mulder exposition. Fuck.
But also think about the fact that like now we're thinking about lead singer of Blink 182 brought this to Congress. So like it's kind of hard to like extrapolate all those feelings in a way. I feel like this movie like really did it for like all of us that were thinking about a government conspiracy in the 90s.
Or
that was like a new thing.
Yeah.
Like that was
why don't they do a reboot? Everyone loves conspiracies now.
They did.
Crazy people.
Oh, and this
they
is
are.
My point on this is that like people are done with it. Like we get this every day.
Yeah.
Like it's all over the place.
You're right. You're
Like,
right.
I mean,
why do we-
I live in a place where people think a spaceship crashed in North Vegas, and it's
like they basically,
it didn't.
I watched the intro to this movie and thought the aliens came here, and a lot of us think this, but they came here, they looked at us, and they were like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, they're
Like,
like,
let's
let's keep
get the
these
fuck
fucking
outta
monkeys
here.
at arm's
Like,
length.
yeah.
Right.
that's the best alien analysis movie I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you. But I mean, like, why are they not here? They're here, but they're not
Yes.
here.
Yeah, they don't want us to. Yeah, just don't deal with them. There's,
I mean, and do you guys know that Taya Leone and David Duchovny were married at the time, so they had a summer.
I do. Yeah.
They had deep impact in it.
Can I do a callback? Taya Leone was so bad in Deep Impact, like so bad that I actually think she's like a character actor after watching that. Like she had a moment doing that. She is really bad in that movie.
Dude, if you could rock the short bleached hair, you were getting a gig in the 90s.
It's not looks. It's more like
Joey
just
Lauren
fucking-
Adams.
Who has
she had the whole thing going on.
Who has a deeper smoker's voice, Kirstie Alley or Taya Leone?
Oh, that goes to the Scientologist.
Spoiler alert, she's dead.
Thank
Wait,
you.
Which one died? Kirstie?
Oh, yeah.
What? Did I miss this?
Clearly.
Wow. Dead
Yeah.
for real?
Oh, for serious.
Yeah, you totally missed this one.
Mhm.
All right.
To be
All right.
fair.
Wow. Good one. X-Files. I got bad news, guys. You got Joe for 3 movies in a row.
Let's do this.
June
All I
9th.
want to say, I didn't finish my X-Files thing.
I'm sorry.
Like,
Please.
one last thing is that, like Scully was probably. Oh, did I already do this?
Which one's Scully?
Oh.
Dana Scully was like an. All right,
Which one's
next
Scully?
movie.
No, hold on. Is Scully
No,
the
that's for
guy or the
Joe.
girl? Come on, give me this.
You got the loser sound effect already.
Vin
No.
Scully.
All right.
Anderson, that's a dog. And moving on.
We're going to move effortlessly into Mulan, which was
Seamless.
released the same week as X-Files. Mulan, a Disney movie, as you all know, it's about China, about a Chinese girl who enlists as a man and wins the war for her country.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Doesn't sound like a great premise, but
I'm in.
actually a very good movie. Every bit as good as The Lion King, but suffered from the coming up of Toy Story and Pixar animation, is my opinion.
Fair.
Toy Story was in, the animation was getting better, therefore not regarded as good.
Yeah.
Point number 2, Eddie Murphy, basically auditioning for Donkey a few years before Shrek. He's basically
Really?
playing the same character as
No, he
Mushu,
was in that.
and he
Fuck,
crushes
okay.
it, and he becomes the star of the summer. Hash, fight me. And number 3, it's one of the few movies where as soon as someone says the name, the soundtrack just pops into my head, and all the songs get, like, Lion King will do it. You know, there's certain movies where if you say the name, I'm just going to get songs from that movie in my head. And Mulan is one of the ones that does it. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. If we're rating it on 5 stars, I give it a B+. Very well done movie, even though all of the characters speak like they're from the Midwest and they're supposed to be Chinese.
Well
Please,
done.
God, someone jump in there.
I got nothing.
Oh my
Szechuan
god!
sauce.
Can't help you, brother.
Okay,
There you go. It's all about the Szechuan sauce.
Really? Nobody has anything about Chinese people sounding white?
Only Americans eat duck sauce.
I
Is
did
anyone
get
else?
that Szechuan when they brought it back, though. I'll say
Justin,
that.
you have kids. Would you show your kids Mulan? Did you
I've
show them
tried. I've actually tried, but they weren't interested.
live
I
one?
haven't.
How about the live one? They did like an adult version or whatever.
Female lead. Boys don't want that.
Wow.
what wrong?
True. It's true.
All
When I
right.
was a little kid, get She-Ra the fuck out of here.
All
I
right.
need He-Man. Fucking traps on that guy.
We went that way.
I'm officially co-producing this episode.
I think you are correct about the Pixar. I think that was a real bad time to have a classic animation feel.
All right, I'm going to move it along because I have the next two, are on Friday, June 26, 1998. Released that day are Dr. Dolittle and Out of Sight.
Oh.
We're going to
do drugs about that.
We're going to take on Dr. Dolittle first. Yeah, I did 2 children's movies back to back. This was essentially Eddie Murphy's star turned into a kid movie star. It was he goes on a run after this, right? He does Nutty Professor, he does all the Shreks, he does Daddy Daycare. He probably makes $1 billion just on kid movies after this before he falls off the face of the earth. Like, go ahead, Yikes, please.
So I was wondering about this. Like, so Dr. Dolittle was the launch to Nutty Professor, right?
I followed up, yeah.
Nutty Professor, I think, came after, yeah. I don't know, though, for sure.
No, first.
Nutty Professor was first, sorry.
Yep.
Okay, this is the era, though, of him transitioning into, like, a different... Yeah.
Like, he went from Beverly Hills Cop 3, which most people don't like, even though I did, into kids movie star, Nutty Professor, Dr. Dolittle, Shrek, Daddy Daycare, right? And just, like, crushed it for 10 years, roughly. Not in the way we liked. He crushed it. You know, we liked him as raunchy, trading places comedian guy, but, you know, you got to give it to the guy. He still crushed it as a child movie star.
It's fucking hilarious.
All right, number 2. This is an excellent children's movie that still holds up. If you release this movie right now, it's talking animals, it's funny voices. Norm Macdonald crushes it as the dog. Chris Rock crushes it as the guinea pig. I think kids still love it. I think it would do amazingly well, even though there's really not much to the script. So I think this would be a moneymaker in any era thus far that I've seen. And number 3, Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah, featured in this movie, released in this movie. I think that is, and again, nobody talked about the Godzilla soundtrack, but I think that's the best movie or the best song of the summer. Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah, R.I.P. Aaliyah.
All right, somebody, Hash, get in here.
I can't think of summer '98 movies off the top of my head, but I mean,
but that
I wouldn't say
the best like song of 19.
Don't say that Puff Daddy Jimmy Page song. That thing sucked.
That pissed me off
it's a trash
so
song.
bad.
It's a trash song.
Oh, I was so mad. It was like 1998 Ron yelling at his car radio. That was a thing.
But there were some popular songs that summer, and I actually think this Aaliyah song beats Ghetto Superstar, which I know Hash doesn't like. I think it beats Aerosmith, Don't Want to Miss a Thing, which we all hate because it got played too much. Okay.
Wait, so when does the summer start? Was it May 5th?
Summer of 98 for me is fucking Beastie Boys, man.
I got 2 songs that are better, but they came out before the summer.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, I think I found it.
This is going to be You Know Too Much About Music, and I only listen because I heard him in the movies.
You give me fucking Intergalactic, and that is not even a top 5 song on that album.
I mean, it came out 3 days before on May 5th, but That Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica is a much better song.
Wait, The Boy Is Mine?
That's a good song. Yeah.
I thought that was... Is that it for a movie?
Oh, are we saying strict for a movie?
No, but I'm surprised it wasn't.
That's fair.
I do like that song. I mean, it's, just another song of women fighting over a dude who's probably a douchebag, but I still like the song.
Oh, wait. I think I got it. Hold on.
I love that we got a random Brandy review. Wait, that wasn't Brandy, but...
It's Brandy.
You've been muted!
I said post-game, asshole.
Okay, no, here it is. Best
I didn't
song,
do that shit, bro.
Best song of the summer, hands down, no questions asked. Don't even try to debate me. Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys.
That's what I said. As I said, it's not even the 5th
I'll
best song
debate
of
it.
that album.
I think Are You That Somebody's better.
Oh.
Beastie Boys come back in full force. They took that summer over, man.
I think it's
a lot
better.
of drugs to that album.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're moving on from Dr. Doolittle, unless someone wants to talk about it, to a movie from the same week called Out of Sight. It is a movie starring George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez.
Not a kids movie.
Not a kids movie, correct. It is an adult movie. All right, point number 1 from this movie. Jennifer Lopez is incredible in this movie. I actually think it's her best role ever. I know that she was new to the scene. She was not that far removed from being a fly girl. She had been Selena, etc. But she is really strong in this. She's better than Clooney in it, honestly. He's a little much. She's more subdued. Really liked it. Point number 2. Out of Sight walked so Ocean's 11 could run. This is Steven Soderbergh, who hadn't done much at this time. He kind of put in this hip style about a movie that's really kind of boring. It's like a boring, Prison Break, and then a boring heist, but it made it
straightforward,
hip and cool. And without this, Ocean's 11 does not happen. And then third point, it's gonna be a rough one for you guys to handle. George Clooney, not as charming as portrayed in this movie. I rewatched it. He kind of overdoes it. I get it. He's George Clooney. He's good looking. He's got the style, etc. Whatever. I think Jennifer Lopez is much better than George Clooney in this movie, and I don't know why she goes for him, honestly. And Justin, we've talked about this many times with like Gordon Bombay, bad coach. George Clooney, bad criminal. Everything he does, wrong movie in this. Bad bank robber, gets out, makes all the wrong decisions for a chick.
Charming. So
gets himself rearrested. Hip, cool movie. I love anything that has Steve Zahn in it. Underrated guy.
Good note.
This movie has a lot of those guys in it. Like, oh yeah, I've seen that guy in this or whatever. So I would give Out of Sight 7.5 out of 10.
Well done.
That rating was a lot higher than I thought it was after that review.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
A bit shocking, honestly.
It's a cool movie, It's like
all right.
Is it though?
I do think that, like, when you review something 7 out of 10, you are
7.5.
It's good.
7.
I think that's a good review.
Yeah, like I like Dirty Work, and I gave it a 6.
Which is
there you go.
It's more angry than I've ever been at you, Ron. Honestly,
it's a fair review. I think you'll find in.
I will say this about Out of Sight: it was ahead of its time for like appearing cool. So, Justin, Out of Sight did what American Hustle tried to do. Not a great story that tried to be cool, right? You don't like American Hustle. I don't like American Hustle. It's dumb, whatever.
Overrated as shit.
Out of Sight pulled it off, though, because they had two really good-looking leads in Clooney and Lopez with good chemistry. And, like, I left the movie saying, what did I just watch? Like, I don't care, but it was cool. Like, it was kind of hip. And this made Soderbergh's career. He got Traffic, Aaron Brockovich, Ocean's 11 after this. So you can't, I like career-making type of stuff. So, but with that in mind, I can't wait any longer. We're on to my favorite movie of the summer. Wednesday, July 1st, Armageddon.
Oh, Jesus.
Justin, we have waited long enough to hear that glorious.
Yes, we have. Let's go.
I'm going to do drugs about this.
It's absolutely my favorite movie this summer. But, what else you got? You got Bay explosions everywhere, because I'm Michael Bay film. It's fucking porn for him. And a movie in which the smartest scientists and astronauts can't learn to drill, but the drillers can learn how to be an astronaut. Fuck we doing?
That's, Jesus Christ.
The most bizarre infomercial for animal crackers involving foreplay you will ever see in your life. However, I agree with Ben Affleck, their cookies are not crackers. Why do you need a gun in space? What the fuck are you doing? Like, what's the point? And I truly believe there's a missed opportunity to have a follow-up movie with Hanging with Mr. Cooper guy and Eddie Griffin and his dog Reggie just teaming up to do a whole bunch of short of hijinks. Those guys have been amazing. 10 out of 10. Armageddon's amazing. I will fight anyone. It's amazing.
I'm getting on board with the short films of Eddie Griffin and his dog after. Really amazing.
That I would watch.
Oh.
Which Reggie attacks Godzilla in the like the little shop they had, and he starts biting on Godzilla.
Could have saved the franchise.
I got a question.
Yes.
Is there a creepier love song when the lead singer is singing about his daughter?
Yeah, that's really creepy when they just keep on showing her.
And it's just like, dude, you're singing about your daughter.
And then you see her touching the static screen in the video.
Yeah, the video was, yeah.
Stay awake.
Was there a song more shoved down our
Watch you
throats?
sleeping.
Nickelback. How do you remind me?
Creepy.
I mean,
Yeah, actually, that might.
it
or
was the
Hoobastanks,
most shoved down our
reason.
throats since My Heart Will Go On, which was only 6 months prior.
Wow,
But-
I avoided that, man.
Ron, how about a pee break?
Oh, Christ. Not on the board. All right. Hang on. Hang on. Wait for it. We're going to go. Oh, no. Wait. Where are we? O and then MP. Okay. There it is. Hang on. Let the decree go forth. It is time to pee.
So I only took a half an edible, and it's still doing the trick.
Justin, who would you trust more with
Fucking
your life? Who would you trust more with your life? John McClane or Harry Stamper?
Harry Stamper.
Stamper.
I mean, one saved the world, one just saved a building. Jesus.
Exactly.
Like, for real.
Stamper.
Also, if you have a movie not that long after Fargo that has two of the main stars in Fargo, and you would have no idea that they're in this movie together, that's called good acting. Buscemi and the other guy, I don't even know his fucking name, that he was in with Fargo.
Also in The Big Lebowski.
Amazing.
Oh, wow. See? Buscemi having a moment.
Buscemi always has moments.
Wait,
Armageddon.
both of them were in the Big Lebowski, Fargo, and
Wait, the other one was in Big Lebowski?
yeah, he's one of the nihilists, if I recall correctly.
Shit.
Oh, wow.
Well, we're talking Armageddon right now.
Wow.
Also, I'll conclude with hottest Ben Affleck. Fight me.
Best
Ben
Buscemi.
Affleck's not hot, so
There you go. That's the counter.
All right.
Ben Affleck, mediocre, tall white man. That's it.
Whiteman.
You say that Ben Affleck is not hot in Armageddon?
Or ever. Yeah.
Or ever, yeah.
Yeah, it's really
I'd say
what it
he's
boils down to.
mediocre looking at best.
6'3". I don't
What?
know.
6'3".
I'm sorry.
6'3",
I forgot
three
that
dicks? What happened?
I forgot that this crew doesn't consider height into that.
Yeah.
No.
You're a height supremacist.
Tall and good looking are two separate quantities.
Okay, all right.
I think that was actually a flex.
George
from the guy
Mirasan.
that's 6 feet tall.
Who's better?
George Mirasan is the sexiest man on earth.
Right,
Who's
he
better,
is
Jake
very-
Gyllenhaal? Who's better looking, Jake Gyllenhaal or Ben Affleck?
Jake Gyllenhaal, hands down. There's no question.
Big hard pass on both.
Wow. Ron is
questions.
more of a carrot top type of guy.
Think about Ben
Yeah.
Affleck in Brokeback Mountain. It would have been an awful movie.
I'm just gonna say, if I'm going
You mean
for
Jake
dudes,
Gyllenhaal?
it's gonna have to be top
No,
shelf.
Ben Affleck as Jake Gyllenhaal's role.
Oh,
It would have been
that's
awesome.
a comparison to say who's better looking?
And a better actor.
You're telling me Affleck and Damon couldn't have done Brokeback Mountain? It would have been
Affleck
funnier.
and Damon could have, but Damon would have been carrying it.
It would have been a
hands
funnier.
down.
It would have been a funnier movie.
Yeah, he would
but yes.
definitely be the bottom there. Yes.
All right, Ron, give us the trailer. We're moving on.
Oh Jesus Christ! Okay, here we go.
In a world with no kids, no pets, and no plants, his friends know Troy as a mild-mannered podcaster. But what they don't know may be keeping them alive. In a former life, his name was Frank. He was a teamster working for the mob, moving bootleg goods. He knows how to get anything you need. He's driven a semi from Medellin to Halifax in 24 hours. The record has still never been broken. He parlayed his knowledge of the operations into a new life and turned himself in exchange for immunity, changing his name and moving to a new rural community. No one knew Troy kept a few containers full of Cuban rum. But Every now and then, the CIA contacts him for just one more job. Get me Troy! But the one condition of his return to action was this time he's tying up all the loose ends. A poet he is, a former man of great power, a hidden kingpin. He only speaks in haiku when he kills.
Got you in my sights. No quarter, no escape. Organize your affairs.
In theaters this summer, prepare to be silenced by...
I came here to eliminate targets and mow grass. And I have AstroTurf.
The Muter.
It's about that so hard.
What's it like knowing that everything you do after that is going to be worse than what you did?
I did that
until
coming
you
out of
see
a
the
fucking
Muter.
nap, man.
Like, who's topping that? Seriously.
I really do
Well
want to
done.
know if you do drugs before that only or after drugs.
I don't think I try not to smoke before the voiceovers, but I want to say I basically straight came out of a nap, came downstairs, got Troy's audio. It was like 2 takes, I think. I'm not sure if I smoked in the middle or I waited till after.
What the fuck are we talking about? Who cares when he got fucking high?
It's
All
important.
right. Speaking of Troy, we're on to a Troy review.
All right.
Friday, July 10th, 1998, Lethal Weapon 4 came out with its 4th installment, so we chose the guy who had seen none of the previous 3. Troy, what do you got on this one?
Lethal Weapon 4 has everything the fans needed to wrap up a 3-part trilogy of buddy comedy with really bad drama in between, with babies, explosions, and one memorable line: "I'm too old for this shit." The end.
I could have described the other movies, I feel like. Troy, what's your take on the villain? Do you think Jet Li was a good villain?
I like Jet Li's acting. I thought the script was a little bit not holding up well, a little trite maybe for 10 years down the road, a little stereotypical. But at the time, I'm sure it was good. But the rewatch was not necessarily engaging from a complexity issue, I thought.
I really hope for more out of this Lethal Weapon 4. Chris Rock, what did you think of him?
4. Come on, 4. It's
Four Lethal Weapons?
Nobody has like been that delicate with a review of like Lethal Weapon 4 ever.
4.
That was like
Forced.
the very like Troy's just like, oh yeah, okay.
All right, can we do a brief? Everyone rank their movies from 4 to 1. Which one they think is best to worst of Lethal Weapons? Has everyone seen the Lethal Weapons besides Troy?
Dude, in the 80s.
Like, what's regarded as the best? 2?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
number 1 I
Number one.
like.
Superior soundtrack. It's got Eric Clapton. It did the
I think they all have
soundtrack.
Eric Clapton.
And then I can't remember the saxophone player, but it was a famous saxophone player. But it was just Eric Clapton and a saxophone player just getting high on cocaine.
David
and
Sanborn.
scoring the movie live. It worked really well.
Okay, what's regarded as the worst? Lethal Weapon 3?
Dude, I don't remember one of them. I seen them on VHS.
Lethal Weapon
3. ...
were the worst ones.
Lethal Weapon 3 is the one that
All
where
of them.
Leo gets shot at the hockey game. Nobody remembers Lethal Weapon 3.
It's considered the worst. You're right.
All right.
That's the one. Yeah.
Well, all right. My only argument is that Lethal Weapon 4 has Jet Li, a legitimate villain, compared to Gary Busey as a martial arts expert.
Gary Busey got crazy eye,
listen,
though.
I
All the
like
rest of it,
Lethal
crazy
Weapon
eye.
1.
I'm
I
in
like-
the martial arts.
I like Lethal Weapon 1, but he's a martial arts expert.
That's what it was? Jesus Christ. I haven't seen it since it was literally fresh released on VHS. So I've got no recall of any
I'm
of
going to
this.
vote Lethal Weapon 2 just because it ends with Danny Glover shooting him in the head saying, "It's just been revoked." And that's just amazing. So,
I love a good shit talk line. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
all right. We're moving on from Lethal Weapon 4. Amazing job, Troy.
Thank you.
Released the same week. By the way, we did not review Madeline, which was released that week.
Spoiler alert, that was the movie I saw that week in the theater.
Between parades. Yeah.
Released that same week was Small Soldiers, which Hash has decided to take on. Hash.
I've never heard of this.
Hash, the
You've
floor
never
is yours.
heard of Small Soldiers, huh?
No.
I feel like it was a groundbreaking movie, and
I was doing so many drugs.
go on.
Small Soldiers, Ron, when you hear this cast, you're going to hallucinate how hard you want to watch it,
I was
okay?
gonna say, you know how much acid I did that summer? It's definitely in the double digits. It's yeah.
I accept that, but I'm saying, this cast, you have David Cross, Dennis Leary, you have Phil Hartman. This movie is released 13 years after Phil Hartman died. And 13 days, not years. What are
I was
I was gonna say,
What?
that'd be aggressive. That was okay.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you.
13 days after Phil Hartman died. Joe Dante is the director. He directed The Burbs. He directed Gremlins. And he directed this movie, also with a ton of sci-fi movies as well. There is a Gremlin product placement. If you look closely, when they look in the dumpster, you see a little gremlin there. That's fun fact. This movie is essentially the adult Toy Story.
Okay.
It is really good. It's got Kirsten Dunst. You got Sarah Michelle Gellar and Christina Ricci doing voice acting. Like
So
a lot of.
nice.
It's got a fucking packed cast. Phil Hartman sits down on his Oh, go ahead, Troy.
Spoiler alert, he was murdered.
Yo.
R.I.P. to a great Phil Hartman.
Yeah, you might have sold me with the Phil Hartman, honestly. I'm gonna check this out.
Phil Hartman is sitting on the couch, and he just got his new satellite dish hooked up, and he's sitting there and he's watching TV with his wife, and I think he eats some popcorn and he says, "I think World War II is my favorite war." That's the line. I laughed so fucking hard. I was just like, God damn it, this is
'Cause
good.
he
David
can
Cross is great.
deliver it,
Dennis
man.
Leary's great. Everyone's great in this movie. Kirsten Dunst drives a white 1986 Honda Elite, which I have tattooed right here on my arm. Did not know that. And then I watched the movie and I was like, oh shit.
Why?
The fuck up, of course.
I love a movie that has an ad at the beginning of the movie to set the stage. If I recall correctly, RoboCop did the same thing, where it just starts out with direct TV exposition and it sets this world up. They do this at the start of the movie. A lot of anti-corporate messaging. The kid convinces a truck driver to front him a set of toys. It's just like there's mail theft, there's felonious activity, there's a lot of plot holes, but it advances it. I don't know. I'd say a lot of people can hate on it. I'm giving it straight up 9 out of 10.
So this is not animation?
Nope.
I thought it was
Also,
it's like
Tommy Lee
claymation,
Jones.
isn't it?
Nope. Tommy Lee Jones is the main voice actor playing Major Chip Hazard. Like the cast is stacked.
What is
Absolutely
it then?
ridiculous.
It's not animation.
Yeah, I was gonna say
No,
you
it
keep
is
saying
it's
voice actor. Like, what's happening there?
So it is a live action movie, but there are toys that I don't want
Gotcha.
to. They get planted with a military chip, and so they are actually intelligent. It's like a form of artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And so you have toys that are essentially, it's CGI / stop go animation a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, that's why you have voice acting in it. So
I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you know where I can find this for viewing?
I can send you a link. That's where I watched it.
Yeah, do that.
It's
gonna
a
watch
rental.
this.
You might get a virus.
No, you fucking
Won't get
sold
a
me.
virus.
I'm just kidding. Tremendous.
We are reviewing 1998 movies. Like the idea of a virus is legit.
No, the idea that you have to pay for some of these shithole movies is ridiculous.
I won't.
All right, we're moving on.
Moving on.
We're moving on to a Wednesday release. You know what that means. It's going to be a big movie. Am I right?
Wednesday? We've had a Tuesday and a Wednesday. What the fuck
We
was
have
happening?
a Wednesday, July 15th release. It's a little movie called Something About Mary. Here, let me do my. I want to do my best.
Wow.
I'm trying to do my best. Get my hair to stick. No, I can't do it. All right. Justin is taking on There's Something About Mary.
There's not enough meat on the stick. If you like a movie with homophobic jokes, the best cock and balls and fake breast reveal in a movie history, Franks and Beans, 5 guys stalking and lying and treating women like an object instead of a person, then this is the movie for you.
You see my wiener?
Also,
this doesn't sound like a raving review so far.
Well, that is quite the review.
Also,
It's
Brett
all
Favre
fair.
really did say those things about Warren because he's portraying himself in this movie, and we know he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he pays a lot of taxes.
Brett Favre ahead of his time, and a bad actor.
Awful.
I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass.
There it is. You beat me to it. Well done.
Is that all you got?
He's playing himself, and he's not fucking
But again,
convincing.
all those things, all those flaws were a moment of time when you first saw that movie. The jizz in the hair.
Oh yeah.
Ben
Is
Stiller's
that hair gel?
when he's a teenager or whatever in that first
Oh, yeah.
scene. Ben Stiller's hair is just so fucking funny.
So I'll give you guys a
Keith
stat
David's
about
the dad.
Is it Frank?
David's so good.
Are you yelling at me in my own house? I'll
My nomination
I'll give you guys a stat about this movie. Released Wednesday, July 15th, was number 1 at the box office for 1 week, September 4th.
Wow.
Almost 2 months later,
Dude, that's when I went.
it was
Yeah, that's
still
probably when I went, too,
popular.
yeah.
It kind of was like long-lasting popular over like Saving Private Ryan and a couple other movies that came out. And just before school started, which, you know, I've been trying to hammer down with you guys, there's like movies leading up to school year, and then it's like not popular anymore. So I don't think it holds up all that well, some of the comedy, but it's still pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hold up, but it's solid. I'd give it an 8.
Yeah, I literally took a date to that movie in like September.
Wait, was it the date that rejected you before, and then she saw you there and she said, "I like your fishing hat, and let's go to this movie"?
No, total different chick.
Is that the one you married later?
No.
Wow, Ron's a player.
Yeah,
How do
3
you
chicks
know?
in 25 years, man. That's what an average.
I mean, we have 3 different chicks in the picture in just one summer.
Well, 98. Oh my God, 3 was.
Ron was
low
high
in
on
98.
acid. I mean, the women just kept
98. I fucking crushed it, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a different pod, guys.
I don't have
The year
time
that
for
we
movies, bro.
The year that we crushed it the most. That's a different pod.
Oh shit. Yeah, it was insane.
All right. We're moving on to just 2 days later, Friday, July 17th, 1998. The Mask of Zorro. Coley was supposed to cover this. She is not here. Hopefully still with us. And I will do the honors. The only thing I have to say about this movie, other than that I enjoyed it, is that minus Catherine Zeta-Jones and Antonio Banderas, you have a lot of white people playing parts in a movie that is not for white people. You have Anthony Hopkins, who I think is strictly white,
Strictly.
playing Don De La Vega. You have another white guy playing Don Raphael, and you have another red-headed white guy playing a main villain. I don't know what's going on here with the new California and back in the day, but it was very white.
Indisputable Whiteman. Yes.
Other than that, it's a fun movie. It's good action. You know?
I was looking this up because I think Anthony Hopkins has always been really white.
Mm-hmm. I think if you check his wiki.
By the way, he also played a black guy in a movie. Have you ever seen The
Shut
Human
the
Stain?
fuck up.
What's the movie?
What? Say it again.
Now,
The
what
ver-
movie?
The Human Stain.
That's top 5 great name, right?
I kid you not. He plays.
Someone put that in the fake band name Discord. Like, that's good.
It might just
Or
be
ska
Human
band.
Stain, or it might be the Human.
Oh, the Human Stain. That's a book.
Nicole Kidman, right?
The Human Stain film. Black. He's black in this?
Yeah. Thank you. Hello.
Good news, folks. It's on Hoopla. If you want to watch it, it's on Hoopla.
Oh, watch along.
What's a hoopla?
All right. So Anthony Hopkins,
Wait,
he's great.
Super white.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
Agreed.
He's also played.
He's not black in this. He gets.
No.
Hold on.
No, he is.
Young Anthony Hopkins might be a black actor, though.
All back
in the
Johnny
same
Bushman.
movie.
Oh, Jesus H.
No, he is.
I'm so confused right now.
Ash.
What happened?
Hold on.
Can we all come to a centerpiece here?
Here's the premise of the movie. The premise of the movie is
up.
Anthony Hopkins is a college professor that calls students spooks that don't show up to class. And he gets in trouble for being racist, except for it turns out he's half black. It's really a bad idea.
Wow.
Okay?
They saw what was coming down the road. It's futuristic.
I did not think this would lead to human stain talk. Okay? I'm sorry.
You didn't? That's a failing.
Wait. Yeah, so flashbacks of Coleman's life reveal to the audience his secret, He is an African-American who has, quote, passed as a white Jewish man for his whole adult life. This movie came out in 2003.
Love it.
Oh, my God.
One of the greatest years of all time.
Wow.
What?
Shit biscuits.
Like 2003?
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I brought this up.
You should be. Yes.
All right. We're moving on
Moving on.
to one of my favorite moments of the pod, which is a Troy review.
Oh, shit.
Spoiler alert.
In a world.
All right, hold on. Before we get to it, Friday, July 24th, 1998, Saving Private Ryan comes out. July 24th, 1998. I even looked it up to see if this was a significant date in the military or in the war. It was not. So why this movie was released in July and not December like most award-winning movies, we'll never know. But Troy, you were assigned this movie, and I couldn't be happier. The floor is yours.
This will be a mid-length review. Yikes! So go ahead and start your timer now.
Oh, you want the timer? Oh, God damn it. I fucked it up.
I mean, did you hear my back in my day? Go ahead.
This is a war movie that's incredibly graphic and, by all accounts, true to the events of D-Day. As a backdrop, that's really the main thrust of the cinematography and amazingness of the movie. Ostensibly, the story is some family loses a bunch of brothers. There's one brother left, and the military decides to send 8 dudes to go save this one dude so that they can send him home to his mom, because evidently losing a whole family is bad in the military in World War II, even though it's happening left and right.
As if they cared, yeah.
Anyway, long story shorter, they trudge and fight and blah, 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 and war and, do their thing.
That's time.
Spoiler alert, Private Ryan lives.
Bro, you have a minute and a half left.
The one scene I do want to talk about is a scene where 2 soldiers fight intimately and one soldier loses and dies.
Yes.
And it's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen on cinema.
Agreed.
Wherein it's like the old classic thing you see in the hero movies. The hero overpowers the villain and he wins with the finger coming at him or the whatever else. Well, this time it's a giant knife. Except this time the character we know about ends up being stabbed with his own knife by his adversary in super slow motion, while his co-combatant is frozen in horror down the stairs. It's one of the weirdest scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
Nice.
Very poignant. All these years later, even without a rewatch, I saw it. It was amazing.
Always bothered me.
4,
Agreed.
3, 2, 1. Perfect.
I think that's a really good synopsis of Saving Private Ryan, actually.
Fair. Yeah.
I remember seeing this in the theater because, this is my podcast where I talk about what I saw in the theater. I'm not a war movie guy, so they're just not my thing. I thought it was fine. I thought it was well done. I thought it was et cetera, et cetera. Tom Sizemore, liked him, whatever, right? It just didn't do it for me, maybe it was released at the wrong time. I don't know. the big thing is that Saving Private Ryan lost to Shakespeare in Love that year for best picture. And everybody's all pissed about it. But was Saving Private Ryan really the best picture that year? I just don't know.
That first 20 minutes makes that whole movie. The rest of it is just a typical 1968 World War II movie that happens to be in color, not black and white.
That's fair.
But it did launch the HBO Band of Brothers series, which reignited the glory and chasing down of the quote-unquote greatest generation people and told their stories in ways that hadn't been told when they first came back from the war, because there was another war right after it, plus one after that, plus some more after that. Yeah, so it needed some relative peace and quiet to have a war movie and find these old folks who rightly deserve some credit for their heroic activities before they all died off. And they almost all died off now in 2023.
Got America all nostalgic to go back to war in the next.
Spoiler alert, they're dying.
Yeah. It did launch that.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else on Saving Private Ryan before we move on?
That was honestly solid.
All right. Ron, I need a pee.
Honestly solid? What the hell, bud?
I need a pee break, Ron.
What fucking shit? I took it back off the board. What kind of fucking bladder you got? All right, hang on.
It might be related to my back, which is fucked up also.
That sounds like prostate. Hang on.
No.
Let the decree go forth. It is time to pee.
You're listening to the Outsiders Social Club on the Half-Ass Podcast Network. Now you know that.